So now that the Indigo Disk DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has been out for a few days, people have definitely taken the time to really look in depth at everything and find any of the secrets and Easter eggs that GameFreak might have hidden inside of it, and they've actually snuck in a lot of really cool references to past games and some other really cool things as well, so that's what we're going to be talking about inside of this video, as I've basically compiled all of the cool little secrets and things that people have discovered, and we're going to take a look at all of them inside of this video. Now real quick before we get started, I just want to let you guys know that I am having a special giveaway for the holidays where I'm giving away a digital download code for any Nintendo Switch game or DLC, and all you gotta do to enter is click the link below in the description or the pinned comment, and you can have a chance to win any Nintendo Switch game or DLC that you want, whether it's the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Boosters Course Pass or Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Mario Wonder, any Nintendo Switch game that you want. The giveaway does end right before Christmas, so definitely be sure to click the link below and enter for a chance to win. And so starting off, the first thing that we've got here is some music references to Generation 5 with the Unova region in Pokemon Black and White, as the wild battle theme that plays inside of the Indigo Disk is actually a remixed version of the exact same wild battle theme from Generation 5. I mean, listen to them side by side. Similar to that, the trainer battle theme is also a remix from Pokemon Black and White as well, so take a listen to that. Now from some data mine info that we were able to see with the dialogue that is going to be said by Penny in an upcoming Pokemon event, we were able to learn that Penny is actually the daughter of Peony from Pokemon Sword and Shield's DLC. So we already knew from the base game that Penny was from the Galar region, but now we've learned that she actually comes from Peony and is actually the daughter of that character from the Crown Tundra, so that's pretty interesting. Now once you have the ability to permanently fly on Koraidon and Miraidon, and you've beaten the Indigo Disk, you can actually go back down to the Area Zero Underdepths and actually fly up and discover a really cool secret cave that you can destroy some of the crystals that are blocking it by defeating a special Garchomp that is around in the area, but then it also takes you to a secret room where there is a ton of Terra Shards and items, and it's just a really cool little secret that you can find. If you customize your League Club room, you might come across this poster of a futuristic robotic Tyranitar, and you might think it's a reference to Iron Thorns or the futuristic Tyranitar that you can find in Pokemon Violet, but this is actually a reference to Generation 5 with Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, as there was a special minigame that you were able to play called the Pokestar Studios, where you were able to make your own movies, and in one of them there was like a special robotic Godzilla-like Tyranitar, and that's what this is referencing. There's even a blimp that was inside of this minigame which you can find in the same room as well. Now Dipplin gets to evolve even further in the Indigo Disk into Hydrapple, and the signature move for Hydrapple being Fickle Beam actually has a chance for a really crazy animation where all of the heads poke out of it and you can shoot a really powerful beam instead of the normal attack that you usually see. You can also find a reference to the Black City and White Forest inside of the Indigo Disk as well, and this is really cool because these were version exclusive areas to Pokemon Black and White, where Black City was the area inside of Pokemon Black version, and then that same area would have been the White Forest if you had Pokemon White version, so it's really cool to see these referenced inside of the DLC. There's actually one part in the DLC where the background music that plays is an exact reference to Route 6 in the Unova region, and you can take a listen right here and see for yourself. Now you may have finished the DLC already, but your entire Generation 9 adventure isn't over yet, as there's actually one hidden Pokemon that they're still not revealing yet, which is inside of the code of the game called Pecharunt, and it's a mythical Pokemon, and this is the Dokutaro Pokemon that we were all speculating about. And so this is actually going to be a part of an epilogue event that it looks like it's going to come out at some other time, and there's actually about an hour extra of content, and it's like a little mini story with this Pokemon that's apparently turning people into zombies, and I think Kieran is even going to help you too. So there's a whole other event that's still left, so it is cool. I'm assuming we're probably going to get an update about this like during the Pokemon Presents on Pokemon Day. There's still 2 unused items that are left inside of the code of the DLC. We actually have images for them, so I'll put them up on screen for you guys right now. We have no idea exactly what these items are for, so some people think that these could have been like fossils, some people think that maybe they were items that were going to be used to increase something in battle, or maybe it was going to be used to like change something with your Pokemon. Either way, these are just some items that we have no idea what exactly their true purpose is. Now when you battle against Kieran and Carmine again in the Indigo Disk, they're actually going to have special dialogue if you send out Ogerpon, which was the Pokemon that they got to see you catch inside of the teal mask, and it's just really cool to see them react like this. Of course, Kieran is kind of just very upset about this because you're using the Pokemon that he was really obsessed with in the teal mask, and I kind of wish that other characters reacted to stuff like this as well. Like, I know in the DLC you can actually trade with gym leaders, and like they show Iono giving you a Magnemite. How cool would it be if you send out like a Magnezone against like a rematch with Iono, and she's like, wow, you actually raised the Magnemite that I gave you? It would just be really cool. Now going off of that, if we take a look at the median levels for Champion Kieran's team, he actually has the highest level team now out of any of the other trainers in main series Pokemon games, so you can actually say that Kieran now is the strongest trainer ever that they've created in a main series game. There's a way to unlock some cool new clothing items inside of this DLC, and these are some really cool references to some other Pokemon games from the past, where you can actually get like the diving suit that you had from the Delta episode in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. We've got the visors here that the Team Flare admins wore in Pokemon X and Y, and we've even got the Ball Guy helmet here from Ball Guy in Pokemon Sword and Shield. If you go back to the main academy again after doing everything in the Indigo Disk, you can actually encounter all of Team Star's admins from the base game and see that they're all being good students and going back to school again, and it's just really cool to see characters like Mela actually look like normal students again, and especially seeing the character Eri, because I really wanted to see what she looked like, but you never got to see her because she always had like that face or body paint on inside of the base game, and you can actually see what she looks like now inside of the Indigo Disk. Now, if you go to the Crystal Pool in Kitsukami after beating the Indigo Disk and seeing the credits, you can actually have Terapagos come out and activate a really cool event where you can summon the Professor from the version of the game that you're playing, so Sada in Scarlet and Turo in Violet, and this is going to be the real Professor and not the AI version from the end of the game. And this is going to be the professor just talking to you about how they were doing work and they just randomly got teleported here and now they're meeting with you, and they're actually going to be really curious about this book that you're going to have from Briar, who's actually going to have like the updated book about pretty much everything that you discovered inside of the Indigo Disk with Terapagos, and you actually give this book to that professor who then takes it back into their time period. And then if you actually go back into the underground or into the Area Zero underground depths, you can actually then look at the notebook on the desk, which is going to have it updated to then say that it was actually a special book that was handed to them by a trainer. And it's really cool because it's like a paradox and actually really involving time travel. There's an area in the terrarium which seems to be an exact reference to the nature preserve from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2, and you can see here even the shape of the dirt and everything is exactly identical. And we even have a Haxorus spawn that appears in this area, which is a reference to the shiny Haxorus that you were able to catch here inside of Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. So now it makes you wonder, some people even have theories like, what if this area is actually the nature preserve from those DS games, but they decided to turn it into this whole terrarium in the future, as that's what it seems like this DLC is taking place in, as it's probably in the future from Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. Now, a new character from the DLC is Lacey, and it's mentioned that she's the daughter of a gym leader from the Unova region, which she later then reveals is Clay, and this makes a lot of sense because when you battle her, she has like a gemstone in her hairpin, and she even uses an Excadrill as her ace Pokemon, which is of course the same ace Pokemon that Clay uses. However, it gets even more interesting, where if you look at the Pokemon that Lacey uses in that initial battle against you, in addition to her Excadrill, she also sends out a Plusle and Minun, which are two red and blue themed electric Pokemon, and there's actually another gym leader in the Unova region who has a lot of red and blue in her character design, and she also specializes in electric types, and it gets even crazier when you find out Lacey is from Nimbasa City, which is the same city that Elisa is from. So Clay might have just become the luckiest character out of all of the Unova characters and has just secured a Nimbasa City supermodel baddie as his wife. I can't even blame him, man. This was the biggest reveal out of the entire DLC for me, but Elisa as a supermodel is insane, man. Like, bro is living the life. I can't even believe this, but that is crazy. If you go down the path from your house and into that lab right by the lighthouse, you're going to notice that on the monitor, there's a crystal, which we now know is the crystal for Terapagos, so the hidden treasure of Area Zero has actually been on that screen for the entirety of the game. If you look at the descriptions for Crispin and Amarys, it actually mentions that Crispin is from Burbank City and that Amarys is from Castelia City, so a lot of these characters from this DLC are from the Unova region. There's a part of the terrarium where there's a bit of a mountain or a cliff kind of jutting out, which really resembles what it looked like in the Lion King, and there's even a static encounter for a Pyroar there, which is always going to be there, so it really is a Lion King reference, so it's really cool to see. You can get a smart speaker that actually lets you play music from other past Pokemon games, so there's like Castelia City and some other cool ones too, so it's a cool nice reference to some older Pokemon games. There's a new pose you can unlock for your trainer, and it seems to resemble John Cena? I guess you can do a John Cena pose if you wanted to in this DLC. Once you have the ability to permanently fly on Koraidon and Miraidon, you can actually fly all the way to the top of the terrarium and find some really rare items such as a gold bottle cap, an ability patch, and 50 stellar Terra Shards. After beating Champion Kieran, if you talk with Crispin in the League Club Room, you can actually trigger a sad little bit of text where he talks about how he's now going to be kicked out of the Blueberry League because since you beat Kieran, you're the new champion now, and Kieran is going to be demoted to an Elite Four, and because there can only be 4 of them, the weakest one has to get kicked off, which happens to be Crispin, so it's actually a little bit sad. And finally, the last secret with the Indigo Disk is with the mythical Pokemon Meloetta, as of course Meloetta can be obtained in this DLC, and it requires you spinning around for 30 seconds, and then opening up the camera app on your phone, and putting on the sepia filter, and then looking around with the camera until you see Meloetta. But did you actually know that all of that is a reference to the original Meloetta event from the Generation 5 games, where the NPC that's involved in it actually mentions something about sepia tone memories? And so this is amazing attention to detail, and I'm actually very impressed that GameFreak remembered this, and it's a really cool reference to see inside of the game. But yeah, there you go guys, that is every secret, Easter egg, and reference inside of the Indigo Disk DLC for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. If you guys enjoyed the video, definitely be sure to click that like button, and also subscribe to the channel as well, as I'm going to be having more Pokemon content in the future, so definitely be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know if you guys found anything as well. Did you guys find any secrets that I didn't talk about inside of this video? What was the most surprising one to you guys? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about this, just comment your favorite emoji for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. And remember to enter my giveaway as well. I'm giving away a digital download code for any Nintendo Switch game, and all you gotta do to enter is just click the link below in the description or the pinned comment. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.